Welcome to Women of the Metaverse. I am Cheryl Laidlaw.
I am Angela Harkness. We have been and are still on a journey to discover the metaverse, Web 3.0, NFTs, and anything that we are required to know to join this world.
From this podcast, we will help you to unlock how the metaverse is going to impact your brand, your business, and even your personal life.
Join us as we take the mystery out of this new digital universe.
Welcome to episode 13 of Women of the Metaverse. In this episode, we are going to be talking about all things Horizon Workrooms. What is it? How do you get into it? Why do we need to understand it? And our personal journey using it. We're really excited to bring you this episode because we love using Horizon Workrooms and having meetings by the sea in our very new branded studio space. We'll be bringing you more on that content very soon. But you may have seen some of our posts that we've already done and created for Instagram and Facebook. It is a great way to stand out and be different. So, Angela, do you want to take us through what is Horizon Workrooms?
Absolutely. Facebook, or Meta, as it is now called, launched Horizon Workrooms to start its journey into the metaverse in April 2021. It is an app that you can download using your Quest headset. Think of it as a virtual Zoom meeting. If you are attending a meeting, you would either enter the workroom as your avatar, or you can attend the same way as you would a Zoom call. To get started, you create an account on workrooms.com. So this is done on your PC, so a normal setting up an account. You then follow the instructions and pair your headset. You'll get given a code and you've got to go in and just pair the two together. And then you are set to go. Basically, all that does is create the connection between your headset and your Workrooms account. It's very self-explanatory. And then you're set to go. So on your PC, you'll have a workroom page that acts as a calendar. You can set up your meetings, invite guests, add notes and images that can all be used in the meeting. And it is exactly the same way as you would use Google Calendars or iCal. And when you then enter Workrooms on your account, you will go into your own space. It's like a homeroom. It's not that great, but it's just a bit of a homeroom. But you will then see this console in front of you and your scheduled workroom will be there, and you click on it and into the room you go. What do you think about this so far? What do you think about how they could make that a bit better?
Yeah, I mean, at the moment it's in its beta phase, so it is still very much in its infancy, I would say. But the homeroom, as we call it, is a bit bland, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
It's just a single desk. It's all grey. They've added a few little touches, but I
this would
think the
definitely
whole
grow over time.
Yeah. I think the whole point is that it's just a place you go and then go into
And have the
an
meetings
actual
with other
workroom.
people.
Yeah.
So once you enter the room, and I'm talking about the meeting room that you have with other people, there are many things that you can customize. You can change the desk layout to suit you and every type of meeting that you're having. Workrooms lets you pair your computer so you can type, take notes, screen share with your Oculus remote desktop. You can choose where to hold your meeting, so whether that's a trendy city office overlooking the city skyline or down by the beach looking out to sea.
Or by the lakes. I think there's a lakes one as well,
Yeah,
isn't there? You can
there's
go to
about
the lakes.
six. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
about six to choose from. They are
Yeah.
stunningly beautiful. So you can choose what seat you want to sit in. And in all the rooms, there is an interactive whiteboard that you can use to present, I love to use it for brainstorming and note taking.
Yeah.
There's also a television in the room for people to join via video call. So if one of the members doesn't have a headset, you can join in, so that they
Yeah.
could join your VR space basically
Yeah.
without having to have the VR headset, much like you would a Zoom meeting. So they are able to see and hear all the avatars in the room and join in just like a video call.
Yeah.
But get this. This is the best part. You can
Cheryl loves this.
I love this. So you can even add your logo to the room, which displays at the back of the room, giving the illusion that you are in a multi-million pound office. It
Hmm.
looks so cool.
Yeah, it really does. It really
It really
does.
does.
It
You can
helps
have,
if you have a partner like Cheryl who does branding, because she's
yeah.
able to make it look really good. So that really helps
Or even
me.
if you've got an epic logo to have it in the
Yes.
background, it's
Yeah.
awesome. So you just need to upload a PNG version of your
Yes.
logo and it appears. It's awesome. So you can also change the hanging pictures on the wall. And I think this is a great idea for having brand assets or pictures of the team. You could even put case studies of your work up. I mean, the limits. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
fantastic. I
Yeah,
think it's a
it's
great
brilliant.
feature,
Yeah.
and it's all about branding at the end of the day. So Horizon Workroom at the moment supports up to 16 people in with the VR sets together. I'm sure that will change over time. And for now, that's definitely enough to hold a meeting up to 16 people. I think any more than that, it's just overwhelming and it becomes a workshop.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is yeah. So as you can see, well, if you have a look at our show notes, and you'll be able to look at what we've done to personalize our Women of the Metaverse studio. It looks pretty
Yes.
cool.
Yeah, it does. And the other thing that's really good is that you can connect your actual PC. So you can sit in a workroom as an avatar, but see your own desktop in front of you, which you can then share, which is really handy for us like this when we've got these show notes and we wanted to discuss, and we might be recording the podcast or something else in the studio. One of the other features that we actually don't use very much, but we maybe need to get a bit used to, is when you use your Quest headset, you have these hand controllers. But one of the really clever features is you can actually just use hand movements. So you have a console in front of you that you can either point your controllers at and click and say, I want to move seats, or I want to change the room. But actually, you can just use your hands and press on it. You'll see your hands in front of you moving. So it's really clever what you
Yeah,
can do
I
with
love
it.
that you can still see the your keyboard, and it highlights
Yes.
and glows. It glows in the dark, doesn't
Yes,
it?
it
All the
does.
little
Yeah, it does.
I don't know how it
Picks it
manages
up.
to
Yeah.
pick up the keyboard, but it
Yeah.
does. It's really
Yeah.
clever. So tell the listeners why you would use Workrooms over Zoom, because that's a
Oh,
question we get asked.
do you know what? I love it. I There's something about it, because one of my favorite workrooms to go to is by the sea. It's like a Greek island, and it really does make me feel relaxed. I love the atmosphere in there. I love that you can have a meeting and hear the sound of the sea. I mean, it really does. There, you feel like you're by the sea. You just can hear the sea lapping up against the shore, and I just find it really calming. I feel a bit like, oh, I've traveled away for a brainstorming session by the beach, and we're just sat here, and you almost feel like there's a cool breeze blowing. There isn't, but you sort of you know it just, the imagination is just really incredible. I just love going there, and Sharon and I have such a giggle when we go in there. I really love it. I love
We really
using
do.
it. Yeah, but what about you? Why do you love it?
But so for me, it's all about the tech. So growing up as a Mario fan, I feel like I'm in the game. I
Yeah.
I love the fun aspect it brings to meetings. It's light-hearted. I mean, you'll find every now and then I'll give Angela a poke to see if she's
I
really there, just for fun. Like, obviously, I wouldn't invite
Cheryl's
that in
yeah,
your.
Cheryl's a bit of a, like, she's like a kid in there. So there's one really funny blooper that we did where she's like, she's trying to touch me. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, and she'll disappear off all of a sudden. I'm like, where have you gone? She's like, she's just changed seats.
Yeah, I've just
But
changed seats, and I'm like, I'm a big kid, really, aren't I? So, yeah, it's not quite professional, um, but it's only you and I, so I can explore and experiment in there. So it's just upbeat, it's just fun, and
yeah,
it's just the way I like to do business, really.
yeah. Talk about the lockdown though, the sort of privacy and Zoom backgrounds, and why this might be something that more businesses might use in the future over actually doing the Zoom calls.
Yeah, sure. So, well, as I mentioned before, Horizon Workrooms is still in beta mode. So it's still being tested and updated on a weekly basis. So as we've been exploring workrooms over the past few months, there's still a lot of glitches. And when we had our first meeting, our lips didn't even move, did it, Angela?
No, it was very weird.
And then 2 weeks later, boom, they moved. And it made the experience so much more inviting. The fact that I could see and hear what Angela was saying just made the whole experience 10 times better. So um, we're noticing weekly changes,
Yeah,
aren't we? So we're already fans and we're excited for what's to come.
yeah. I think also if you think about Zoom calls, there's something about somebody being in your home. You know, if you the only space you've got is the kitchen table, or you've got to sit in your bedroom, or I mean, sometimes I sit on Zoom calls and I'm sitting looking at someone, I'm thinking, I wish you'd close that drawer, it's
Oh,
driving
yeah.
me mad that it's just a little bit open. Or you couldn't have picked that piece of clothing off the floor before you came.
Yeah.
I can, like, the tiniest thing will bug me, but also I'm very conscious about what people can see in my background. And I know a lot of people don't like it. I know a lot of people like the privacy. And also, those Zoom backgrounds are terrible, aren't they? They just look awful. So I think the Horizon Workrooms takes that away, because you're in a place as an avatar,
Yeah. And
feeling like
mutual ground, aren't you?
you're in mutual ground, and you're feeling um like you're sat next to someone, physically, and having a chat with them. But Cheryl makes a good point about the fact that it's still in beta. So there are glitches with it, and there's a few times that we've tried to have meetings and we couldn't get in, and it's been very frustrating. And sometimes trying to connect your computer, it can be difficult, and it doesn't work one session and it'll work the next one. Also, there are some features that we would love to be introduced. So Cheryl and I actually sometimes record our sessions in our studio, but that takes other technology in order for us to be able to do that. And we wish that Meta would enable us to just record the session. The
Yeah.
television that
You can't
somebody
move the
who
TV. There's like little bits and
you can't
pieces that
move
we would
the
be
yeah you can't
finicking
move the
over.
TV. And it can be a bit weird, like the avatars. Also, the clothes that Meta have got you for your avatar, they're just ridiculous. They're just so bad. So your avatars can look like, what are you wearing? You don't
Definitely.
you don't have much choice. And just kind of the flexibility, but we're sure that will come,
Yeah.
because
We have every confidence. I think the main thing for me, my personal um uh, problem, let's say, the problem with it at the moment is how big the VR Quest set is at the
yes.
moment. It's heavy.
Yes.
I can't wait for them to develop a lighter and
Like, just like
easier.
glasses. Yeah.
Yeah, you just pop them on your face, and then
Yeah.
that would be much easier to go into a room or a meeting in the future. You just pop your glasses on and you're there. But at the moment, it is a bit clunky,
Yeah.
and
I think also, for this is coming from a very female perspective as well. I think the day will come where you'll carry on doing your work. You might carry on with Zoom calls, then you might go into a Horizon Workroom call. So you're putting your headset on and off during the day. And the problem is, if you're a woman and you're wearing makeup, you put that headset on and
it's
you're
a
going to
very,
take
very good point, Angela. Half of the makeup is on the VR set when you take
yeah.
it off.
Yeah, so you're going to have to, either not wear makeup or spend all day putting makeup on and off. So they haven't, from that respect,
They
that
haven't thought
needs,
about us, have they?
they haven't thought about us women again. They haven't thought about it. But yeah, and Sharon and I do get to the point in meetings where we're like, we got to go because my head's about to explode,
Yeah,
because it's sitting on your head just gives you, it just gives you this sort of like feeling like somebody's trying to squash your head. So,
absolutely.
but
But I
it's
think
new
I
technology, isn't it?
absolutely, and
So,
I think in the future we'll probably have sets made for our faces, much like we'll be wearing
yes.
huge
Yes.
glasses. And I read yesterday that the first meta suit has been created so that we can feel and touch. I know. So technology is moving on so fast, but they really do need to refine the headsets first before they
Yes.
go into the
God.
suits.
But I think even, it was touted that Apple were going to bring out their headset and it wasn't ready, but sort of all kind of leaks that are coming out, but also other companies that are bringing out sort of VR headsets. They are just glasses. They look like Ray-Bans.
Well, we've also got Elon Musk's contact lens.
Yes.
So again, it's all coming. It's all coming.
Yes.
It's definitely not the VR headset is the big quest of what we're using currently is definitely not going to stay for long.
Yeah. But we would still recommend you purchase one, give it a go, start to introduce your customers in a way
Definitely.
to come, because Horizon Work is just a different experience. I think Zoom solved a massive problem. Zoom is great. Skype, I mean, who talks about Skype
I
anymore?
know,
No one. But
right?
Skype led the way with us being able to do meetings across the world without having to leave our house. And this Horizon Workrooms is now a step on from that.
Definitely.
So we
Definitely.
we love it. We're
Well,
fans.
we are massive fans, but remote working is the future. I mean, even before the pandemic, countries like China have they basically started to explore the idea in 2013, and Japan promotes it by paying employees more to work remotely. So at the moment, whilst workrooms is not accessible to everyone, in the future, we'll be able to pop on a pair of glasses and be in a room with your colleagues or clients. And in the future, the process will be far more streamlined and it will be
Definitely.
standard practice
Yeah.
for businesses. So we have to ride the wave for now and wait and see how the tech improves over time. So, thank you for joining us in this episode about Horizon Workrooms. We will be holding a very own workroom event in the future. So, if this interests you, do join our Facebook community so you can be the first to know when this is happening. And we'll see you next week for more Metaverse antics. Bye for now.
Bye. Thank you for listening to this episode of Women of the Metaverse.
You can find all information, links, and people we talked about in the show notes on our website.
If you have enjoyed this podcast, please comment and subscribe.
Join us again in the next episode as we continue this exciting metaverse journey.